Good morning and welcome to World Cup Daily from Stoppage Time News. Everything you missed overnight in one sitting. Coming up, Turkey sign off in style, stunning the host nation United States with a winner deep into stoppage time. Ecuador come from behind to knock the wind out of Germany and reach the last 32. And Manchester City are reported to have agreed a club record fee for the England midfielder Elliot Anderson. It's Friday the 26th of June. Let's get into it. Now, Hortha here with everything that happened overnight as the final group games came thick and fast. We start in Los Angeles, where Turkey signed off with a flourish, beating the co-hosts, the United States, 3-2 with a winner in the 98th minute. Turkey were already eliminated, and the Americans had already won the group and rested players, but it was a thrilling send-off all the same, and the United States now move on to face Bosnia and Herzegovina in the round of 32. In the same group, Australia and Paraguay played out a goalless draw in San Francisco that suited them both. Australia are into the last 32 for the third time in their history, and Paraguay are all but certain to join them. In Group E, Ecuador came from a goal down to beat a full-strength Germany 2-1, Nilson Angulo and Gonzalo Plata turning it around after Leroy Sané's early opener to go through as one of the best third-placed sides. Ivory Coast reached the knockouts for the first time in their history, Nicolas Pepe scoring twice to beat Curaçao 2-0. And in Group F, the Netherlands beat Tunisia 3-1 to top the group, helped by the tournament's record-equaling 12th own goal, while Japan and Sweden drew 1-1, Anthony Elanga with a stunning leveller to send both teams through. The BBC, Sky Sports and The Guardian carry all of the overnight action. Now to our story of the day, and it belongs to Ecuador. Not long ago, the head coach Sebastian Becachese was reported to be on the brink of losing his job. This morning, he has a place in the last 32. Ecuador fell behind inside 2 minutes to a Leroy Sané goal, but they refused to fold against a full-strength Germany. Nilson Angulo levelled, and then Gonzalo Plata produced what the BBC called a touch of gold, reacting quickest to a flick-on to put Ecuador in front, and they held on to win 2-1. The Guardian described 55,000 Ecuador supporters roaring "Se feude, yes we can," and so it proved. It sends Ecuador through as one of the 8 best third-placed teams, and it carries a sting for Scotland, whose own slim hopes took another knock as a result. For a side that started the tournament flat, it is a night that turns a whole campaign around, and another reminder that this expanded World Cup keeps rewarding the bold. Kate, what's moving on the wire?
Thanks, Arthur. Plenty moving this morning. And the usual reminder before we start, these are reports and rumors doing the rounds, not done deals. We begin with the biggest of them. The BBC, Sky Sports, and The Guardian all report that Manchester City have agreed a club record fee with Nottingham Forest for the England midfielder Elliot Anderson, who has caught the eye in Thomas Tuchel's side at this World Cup. At Arsenal, there is a confirmed piece of business. The club have announced the signing of the defender Piero Hincapié on a long-term contract, and Football.London say he is expected to stay put despite interest from Real Madrid. The BBC's Friday Gossip column adds that Arsenal are also keen on Newcastle's Bruno Guimaraes, while Liverpool continue to chase the young winger Yan Diomande. Over at Manchester United, the BBC say the goalkeeper Andre Onana is closing in on a second loan spell at Trabzonspor. And in Scotland, Sky Sports report that Hearts have appointed Wouter Franken as their new head coach. Nothing there is signed and nothing is sealed, but the window is open and the noise is only building. Quick hits before we hand back, first to Scotland, where the mood is anxious. The BBC report that their chances of sneaking into the last 32 as a best third-place team have fallen to around 5%, and The Independent and talkSPORT spell out the half-dozen results elsewhere that would need to fall their way. They may not know their fate until the early hours of Sunday. Next, a row out of Group E, the BBC say, Ivory Coast's manager Emers Faye has hit back at comments by the former Germany midfielder Bastian Schweinsteiger about his side's, quote, wild style, suggesting the remarks could be considered racist. In off-the-pitch news, the Daily Mail and the Mirror report that FIFA will permit rainbow flags inside the stadium for the upcoming Egypt versus Iran match in Seattle, an occasion local organizers have dubbed the Pride Match. There's a notable move in the women's game, too. The BBC say the two-time Ballon d'Or winner, Alexia Putellas, will join London City Lionesses after leaving Barcelona. And finally, the BBC report that New York's Mayor Zoran Mamdani says the World Cup already makes, in his words, more than enough money, and that supporters should not be charged higher prices. Back to you, Arthur.
So, what's next? The group stage reaches its climax today, and the pick of the fixtures is a heavyweight. The Guardian bill Norway against France as the most talent-loaded tie of the group stage, with Erling Haaland and Kylian Mbappe going head-to-head to settle the group. There are more places in the last 32 still to be decided as well, with the BBC laying out exactly what each remaining team needs to go through. Looking ahead to Saturday, England face Panama. Thomas Tuchel has an injury doubt over Reece James and a fitness check on Declan Rice, and Alan Shearer has urged him to unleash Bukayo Saka and Marcus Rashford. And spare a thought for Scotland, still waiting. That is your morning briefing. We will have shorts through the day, and we are back here tomorrow. Stoppage time news before the final whistle.